Alright. Higurashi. When they Higurashi. When they Higurashi. When they cry. Oh, it's a black screen. Okay. Continue. Chapter 3. Alright. It's a very quiet afternoon as always. Since I can't go outside as myself, I have to watch a match schedules with Mion when I go shopping. I've gotten used to it by now, so it's no longer a hassle. Because of this, I naturally have to buy things in bulk. Today I shuttled between shops in my home. I got this and I got that. Oh wait, isn't it a 100 yen sale today? I forgot this. Being in a good mood, I spun around with my arms spread out. I felt like a little whirlwind. My arm hit a motorcycle parked on the sidewalk. Obviously wasn't where it was supposed to be. Oh, this happened to me before as Kichi. Ow. What the? Who parked this motorcycle here? I gave it a kick with no hesitation. There were 3 motorcycles lined up there in a row. The same thing could have happened. They all felt like dominoes. It was a beautiful sight. This is fun, I thought. Being in a good mood made me leave my guard down. I didn't realize that the owners of the motorcycles were right nearby. They looked pretty scary. They grabbed me by the neck and dragged me into a dark alley. Then they called me all sorts kind of names. Everything was happening too quickly for me to grasp what was going on. The fuck, you bitch? What do you think you're doing, huh? Fucking bash your head in, bitch. Yeah, you're gonna pay for what you did. Whoa, they really can't talk properly. I didn't have a clue what they were saying. I had to translate their alien tongue into normal human words in order to understand. We are very upset because you knocked over down our motorcycles. You should immediately pay for the repairs and compensation. Yeah, that was probably it. That's our offer, what do you say? We'd be happy to listen to your opinion. Something like that. Huh? What, sorry, I don't think I can continue interpreting. Ah? What you say? I know what they're trying to say, but somebody has to warn them about the way they park their motorcycles. It wouldn't be fair to those who obey the rules if there was no punishment for those who disobey them. This is an accident, but it must also be God's will. But God, you can use me to punish these guys, but how will you compensate me later? Do you mean Orishiro-sama? I heaved a huge sigh. Of course, I wasn't afraid in this situation. Wait, is Orishiro-sama a god or just a guardian deity? Like, do they worship him or do they... Well, they do, don't they? They worship that he protects their land. Okay. But it's not like you have to worship a guardian. Because it wasn't a dangerous one for me. These 3 guys were yelling at the top of their lungs at a girl. They didn't look good doing it and they had too many disadvantages. First there was the difference in gender and then the number of people. Even if I did something wrong as a man shouting at a woman, it didn't make them look like they were in the right. Add to that, there were 3 of them. It already looked like it was going to get violent. Second, their location, talking to a gun in a dark and narrow alleyway is already a bad idea, and on top of that, they're asking for money, not just an apology. Thanks to these facts, the public will be on my side. So this was a fight, and they couldn't possibly win. The only way for me to win would be to take my money before someone finds out. Considering that, taking me to this now secluded alleyway might have been a smart move since fewer people might find out about the situation. Huh? You're listening or not? I knew how slim their chances of winning were. From the very beginning they had picked the wrong girl. I'm Miya Shinozaki now. I'll be foolish to be mugged to a mugger in Akinomiya. Soon enough the people in Himizawa would notice me and gather around. They don't spare mercy for their enemies no matter what. The punks didn't know this area well. If they did, they would have known how silly it was to rob Mion. But the alleyway isn't always as empty as they assumed. This side street is a shortcut which local people frequently use on their way home. In the late afternoon, many people will be passing through here. That time had already almost arrived. If I held up a little longer, the street would soon be filled with people, and the punks would have to go away. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to wait in order to win. This was a simple fight like that. While they could yell abusive language at me or lift me up by my collar, they weren't actually going to resort to violence. Cheers to the education system for integrating the ladies' first mindset. But as a wicked person, I wanted to toy with them a bit, even though I could win this by waiting. I wanted to paint them as even more villainous, and drive them into a corner that'd be even harder to take their way out of. That demonic desire was rearing its horns. To put it plainly, I would want you to act as the poor, helpless victim a little further, like the pathetic, pitiful, tragic when everyone wants to sympathize with. In a case like this, I shouldn't start crying immediately, because then I'd get nerves and draw back. If it was truly a threatening situation, that would work, but I needed something different here. I pretend to be strong at first, in fact. I thought, why don't I challenge them? And eventually I'd start trembling, my voice. Would fade, and I would get teary in my eyes. It'd be even better if I played the role of a strong girl who's slowly giving in to fear. You and I are probably the only ones who are capable of pulling off that stuff. Well, I'm probably better than her. Well, why don't you let me go now? I already apologized. I took back with a little bit of hesitation. Am I getting tears already? Yes. By the way, I've heard main constants shed tears on command. I feel sorry for them. The 3 punks faltered a bit due to my sudden change in attitude, but they soon started yelling at me again. I had to keep it going. That way they would blatantly look like they were picking on a helpless girl. Please, forgive me. Hick. Hick. Oh. What you doing? What's with this girl, huh? I don't hick her you. Maybe you should apologize like that from the start. It looked like they were laying off a bit. Did I overdo it a little? It'd be boring if they let go of me now. At that moment. Cut it out. Don't you see she's crying? Stop it. A boy around my age appeared. He was skinny. He looked weak. He looked younger than me than he probably was. Just to look smart, he bravely glanced at the punk. What the hell? Who the fuck are ya? Back the fuck off, rah! The punk turned around for me to face the boy instead. Who is the boy? The boy looked a bit agitated when the punk started yelling at him. They sure were ruthless. But the boy must have known that from the beginning. He must have known that he was going into a dangerous situation, yet he didn't hesitate. Fucking say something. Why don't you just answer us? He must have wanted to shout back at them, but he probably never used that kind of language in his life. So he couldn't have expressed his feelings out loud. He might have not even known what to say, so he just kept on glaring at them to let them know he wasn't going anywhere. The 3 punks, though, might have thought he was just lost for words in his fear, but I knew different. The boy was overpowering them with nothing by his will. The punks were losing, so they resorted to violence. They grabbed him and knocked him down. They hit him, kicked him, and tossed him to the ground. It looked painful, but I knew it was his victory. In the end, local passerby stopped the punks. They made no further fuss and just went away. The boy stood up. He was covered in dust. Hello. Oh, you're blonde like Satoko. He smiled when our eyes met and asked me if I was alright. He didn't look particularly okay himself, though. How could you step into a fight you obviously couldn't win? Pick your opponents better next time. I hesitated at first. He laughed, saying that he was watching from the beginning. That meant he had the option to walk away. Instead, he worked up the courage and stepped in. That was reckless, not brave. You're being a little harsh, Mion. You should at least say thank you. I saw you crying. No, I wasn't crying. That was just an act. Haha. Okay. Hahaha. Hey, you don't believe me, do you? Do you really think I would cry? No, nobody would believe me and Shinozaki would cry when punks bullied her. Why are you laughing? You really don't believe that was an act? I would never cry. I believe you, I do. I realized one thing. He must be one of Sister's friends. He didn't seem to realize that I'm her twin. He thought I was Mion with a different hairstyle. Mion and I had to live separately since before we went to elementary school. Mion went to Himizawa and I was in Akinomiya. I lived in a totally different environment from her, so it's not strange that people don't know me. Actually, only a few people know I exist. I almost told him that I'm not Mion, but I managed to stop myself. Shion shouldn't be here. He's from Himizawa. It wouldn't be good if he thought he saw a Mion a lookalike in Akinomiya, so I had to act like Mion. Dealing with him could be more difficult than dealing with those punks. Well, I was just relieved because you seem to have a girly side after all. You sound Hostile? What exactly do you mean by that? I thought you would kick those guys' butts with some crazy martial arts, so I was really surprised when you just started crying. Hey, like I said, I was acting. Weren't you listening at all? Are you Satoshi, by the way? Because you're blonde and you're also, Neon's friend. He gently put his hand on top of my head and stroked it as if stroking a kitten. I remember somebody doing that to me when I was little, but it had been quite a while since someone stroked my head. I didn't know what to do. Why did it make me so embarrassed? My face reddened as all at once I couldn't say anything. Hey, are you making fun of me? I started in embarrassment. He looked calm as if used to doing this. Ah, whatever. Aren't you glad though? Glad? What do you mean? Well, you didn't get hurt. He smiled while he kept stroking my head. His smile looked divine. He wasn't going to stay for long. He'd already saved me from those guys after all. Well, I need to be going, so I should head off now. Okay. I wanted to go through all the steps on meeting someone for the first time, but he didn't. As far as he was concerned, he just saved a friend from danger and wanted to leave quickly to avoid seeming pretentious. He and Mia must be friends who knew each other well, so I couldn't bring myself to ask what's your name. Mia's friend smiled once again. His smile looked as refreshing as a clear blue sky. This time he smiled a bit mischievously. Haha, don't worry. I won't tell anyone you are crying. Haha, well, nobody would believe it if I told them anyway. Nobody would ever believe that our invincible class president cried. Haha. He patted the dust off his butt once again. I'm not really good at the fake laugh thingy. I'm just saying it though, but it's hard. He walked back to the sunny main road away from the dark alley. Then he turned around. See you. See you in school tomorrow, I mean. Yeah, see you in school. He disappeared into the brightly lit street. I continued to sit in the gloomy alleyway. I could no longer see him. I was just staring absentmindedly at the bright light. That was the first time I met Satoshi-kun. It was Satoshi, I was right. How do you know Satoshi, though? I'm not even allowed to walk freely under the sun. I met a boy on a sunny day. How could a perverse girl like me fall in love with his innocence? Notebook, page 5. In love? Oh, okay. Is that why you're so aggressive about him transferring away? That must be Satoshi. He looks like what you describe, and he has a habit of stroking people's heads. His name is Satoshi-kun, huh? Eh? The boy from earlier is called Satoshi Ojo-kun. I bet he got that habit from stroking Satoko's head. Mion said he's always daydreaming, so she didn't believe that he saved me at first. His little sister is always kicking his butt. He has a little sister. Yeah, her name is Satoko. She's funny and skewed, but it's quick to cry when she's cornered. She's fun to watch, but things have been rough for her lately, so she's feeling a bit down. His sister came up naturally in the conversation. She tried to soak up every scrap of information about Satoshi-kun. Why? Why am I trying to ask so much about him? As I asked myself that, the feeling I got when he stroked my head came back to me. I must have been blushing. Hello? Shion? Sorry, I'm listening. To start, I heard he has Satoko's bad terms with her aunt. Satoshi's mature, so he knows how to conduct himself, but when bad things happen, Satoko really lets herself go. Mrs. Tomi was very interesting. She told me that the parents of Satoshi-kun and his little sister are dead. Satoshi-kun and Satoko are now living with their uncle and aunt. Yeah, they were the cursed. They don't seem like very respectable people. They're always fighting and the uncle is cheating on the aunt. He mostly lives with his mistress. Satoshi and Satoko entered into that unwelcome environment. What surprised me the most is the fact that Satoshi-kun's parents were the Hojo couple who were the leaders of the pro-dam activists. That fact must have added something to the situation. I don't know what kind of stance the uncle and aunt took during the dam conflict, but they must have taken some indirect blows. Satoshi-kun's parents died after bothering them so much, and even left them their children. The uncle and aunt obviously can't love those kids. Things have gotten worse this past year too. Women can be really nasty bullies. Sometimes it doesn't really matter who they're bullying, even if it's a kid. On top of that, women tend to care less about priorities than men. As a result, Satoko seems exhausted with it all. I can imagine Satoshi-kun bravely protecting his little sister, but just like when he saved me. So he must be exhausted too, right? Huh? He must be caring for Satoko all the time, so wouldn't you naturally assume that he's also feeling worn out? Well, I don't know. Had I said something wrong? He sounded a bit taken aback, but that meant Myung can't tell how he's feeling, because he's always wearing that blank look. So she never considered it. How can she, be that insensitive even though she's around him all the time? I was amazed to realize that. Well, anyway, what does he usually do? He looks smart, so does he read a lot of books? Well, you're right, he likes to read. He's now reading what's it called? I continue asking about him, about what he likes, dislikes, and what he thinks about. Is this why Shion's the manager of the thingy? Because I'm trying to get close to him. Because Satoshi also played for that baseball team, didn't he? I asked just all of these questions because I wanted to know more about him. It was the first time I've ever been interested in somebody. I didn't want to admit that I had feelings like that. Did I fall in love just because I stroked my head? Am I stupid or what? When I remember the feeling on his hand on my head, my heart feels tingly. I tried doing it myself, but it didn't feel the same. I'm stupid. What am I doing stroking my own head? This I'm done for. I became stupid. What? Why are you laughing? In that weird voice. You wouldn't understand this feeling, sis. When would I see him again? I felt as if my suffocating life had finally grown brighter. Higurashi when they cry. That's a bit early, isn't it? Bam 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 bam. Got saved, I guess. The life I lived freely was beginning to suffocate me. I couldn't go out freely and I always had to make arrangements with Neon before going to work. I thought my life would improve after escaping from school, but in reality it wasn't that easy. It's not healthy to live like this for too long. Without any friends to hang out with, I felt like I was hibernating. I started to feel the dangers of falling into boredom. All I could think of now was Satoshi Hojo-kun's face. I've only met him briefly, but my encounter with him had left a great impact on my new life. I felt like something exciting was going to happen. Really, I was hyped up like a little kid. The more I thought about it, I realized I'd been thinking about him a lot lately. This might be a crush. I felt a little ridiculous idolizing him in such a romantic way though. Then out of the blue, I got a chance to see him again. Oh? I saw a familiar face at the twilight, in the park. He was sitting on the swing. He looked like he was zoning out, maybe deep in thought. He didn't notice me even though I was right in front of him. Oh, hello Satoshi, I guess. I reminded myself to speak and act like Mion before talking to him. Hey, what are you doing here? Mion, you surprised me. You don't look surprised. I've been standing here for a couple of minutes now, didn't you notice? Have you? Sorry, I didn't. He smiled, deviously and shrugged. Wow, he's just like me. Well, he looked depressed. Like, something was troubling him. Something bugging you? You can talk to me if you want. Maybe I can help. No, that's okay. Come on, I owe you one for before Satoshi-kun. Or maybe you don't think this old man can be of any help. Don't you know how mighty I am? That's what Mion says, so I guess it's close. I'm okay, you don't have to, help me. Huh? Oh, what is it then? Are you saying that you don't need help from a girl? Thinking him unfair, I puffed up my cheeks in a sulky gesture. Satoshi could notice that and smiled. No, Mion, it's just I messed up my spring when they needed me the most. I mentally rifled through all the information about Satoshi-kun that Sis had given me. He doesn't look like much of an athlete, but apparently Satoshi-kun belongs to a junior baseball team. He called himself fighters. That he's very skilled since I didn't hear much about his contributions to the team. Maybe that's why he doesn't tell many people that he's a member. Given how down he felt as a result of messing up though, he must be fairly dedicated. I deduced all that from what Sis told me, and carefully chose my words so as to sound like her. What? Are you feeling down just because of that? Hey, it's not that easy to get over, Mion. I pat his back while chuckling. Satoshi would probably call me insensitive. He knew I should listen to him rather than trying to cheer him up. Acting like this was probably the wrong thing to do in this case, but I had no choice. I was just how she would react in this situation. Instead of feeling down, you should practice even harder, and aim for your chances, you know? Practice makes perfect here. Well, if you want to beat the opponent pitcher so badly you're willing to pull some tricks, then I might be able to help you in a few ways. There's no point if I cheat. Satoshi-kun hung his head after letting his regrets out with a big sigh. Surrendering defeat, frustration were all visible in that gesture of his. Are you quick to give up or persistent? If you are a man, then don't you want to be a star and have your 50 minutes of fame? Satoshi-kun grinned and said yes. Of course that would be wonderful, but that's not why I play baseball. I just have fun batting and throwing the ball. You can understand that, right? This little man isn't sure. I only love games that I can win. I don't understand how you can love something while you can't be the best at it. That really sounds like you, Mian. When he realized I'm trying to make him feel better, he laughed along. He didn't look depressed anymore. I guess he was just feeling down because of the game. He wasn't as depressed as I thought. Maybe I jumped to the conclusions when I saw him sitting alone in the park. You always put forth your best efforts to win. That's admirable, I think. Yeah, it definitely is. He smiled gently and stood up, then he started to stroke my head. All of a sudden, I totally wasn't prepared for that. Eh? Whoa. I thought this was when he did it last time, but how can he stroke someone's head so easily? I felt like I had turned into a little kid. Maybe some kindergarten came to mind. My face must have also been red. I felt embarrassed, but also like I was in heaven. The Satoshi-kun stroked me as though petting a cat. I was blushing with my eyes closed. I felt helpless like a girl being treated by the dentist with her mouth open and her eyes shut. Satoshi-kun didn't seem to notice my feelings at all. He didn't seem to care. I hate him. With my eyes still closed, I waited for him to finish. He suddenly withdrew his hand. I need to get going. If my aunt wants some stuff, so I have to go grocery shopping. Okay. My voice faltered. I was so embarrassed. I'm going shopping, too. What? You are? I thought the maids did all the housework stuff. Shoot? I messed up. In the Michidazaki house, the maids do everything. Therefore, Mion hardly goes grocery shopping and shoot bags to some people about that. Should have known better. I should have known better still. It wouldn't be too hard to find an excuse. I just happened to be in town, so I thought I'd help out with the household stuff. Is that a problem? Haha, that doesn't sound like you. You always avoid doing boring stuff like that. You talk too much. Oh, stop stroking my head. Haha. Satoshi-kun seemed to be having fun with how embarrassed I'd get when he paired me, and I managed to talk my way out of it. He didn't seem to really care about the details. While walking with Satoshi-kun in the shopping district of Kamiishiki, it suddenly occurred to me, why had I messed up? I know Mian would never go grocery shopping with one amateurish mistake. Did I make that mistake when I was pretending to be Mian? No, I was probably speaking as Shion. I couldn't keep lying to myself. I had to just admit. It was simply because I wanted to spend as much time with Satoshi-kun as possible. It was easy to see while I was attached to him. I found something intriguing in my boring life. I didn't have to feel tense because he thought I was someone else, etc. His easygoing nature made him fun to be around, and his habit of patting people on the head was fun too. From these symptoms, I would tell I was embracing the feelings of love. I was just casually enjoying that feeling. It wasn't that I fell in love with him. I was just having fun. I could simply spend some time with Satoshi-kun without even thinking too much about it. Which one is broccoli? The green one? Or the yellow one? Oh, you're the same as Toko. That's cauliflower, Satoshi-kun. Hey, could it be you can't tell lettuce from cabbage either? It's not that bad, I'm doing my best here. Well, I think lettuce and cabbage are a bit harder to tell apart than cauliflower. Satoshi-kun stared at the heaps of broccoli and cauliflower. After thinking for a while, he reached out for the wrong one. That's not it. Watching you shop is like being on a roller coaster. It's a lot of fun for me though. You got me. Satoku can't tell the difference either. Which is broccoli and which one is cauliflower. You guys are too funny. Sis had told me that Satoshi was a faker big brother to his nagging little sister. I didn't mess with Toko, but she must be having a tough time dealing with Satoshi-kun. He stumbles over everything he buys after all. That's cooking salt. It's mixed with pepper. It's different from regular salt. Oh, is it? I thought I saw salt and pepper separated in a science experiment once. Don't make any excuses here, just put it back on the shelf. This is normal salt. What are you getting next? Haha, you're being a great help, Mion. You look smart, but you have serious issues. I think you should study more. That's a little harsh. There. Is this it? And it goes. Ah, that's not it. Don't just throw anything in the basket. Check the price and how many servings this is first. My first impression of Satoshi-kun was that he was strong and reliable, but the more I spoke to him, the more surprised I was at how clumsy and unreliable he was. How do I put it? It was hard to leave him alone. He was dangerous on his own. If he wasn't careful, he might start wondering, do you cross the street when the light is red? Or was it green? And get himself run over by a dump truck. I swear it dropped. Your total is 1,780 yen. Do you have a membership card? Oh yes, I do. Oh, where is it? Oh sorry, we can't seem to find it, so it'll be alright for today. I finished checking out. The new Satoshi-kun as he fished through his wallet full of receipts. That was horrible, Mion. You made me waste points. Don't go slowly fishing through your wallet to look for your membership card in the middle of the evening shopping rush. There's a huge line behind us. Didn't you notice all the evil glares from all the old ladies? Listen, at times like this, you should just get it out before reaching the register. Oh, right. That's good to know. It's not only when you go shopping. The same thing goes for when you ride a bus. Satoshi-kun, I bet you don't open your wallet and start looking for change until you're about to get off and have to pay while holding a payphone behind you. You pay when you get off? Huh? Everyone walks by me and pays their own fare. Huh? You know what that means. You're being a super huge bother to everyone. You need to have the money out beforehand. That's just good manners. I thought you usually pay when you get on, right? Do you get it? I guess it's different here for some reason. Okay. You're scary today, Mian. Satoshi-kun smiled as if to patronize me. Because otherwise you could just get on, not pay and then run off the bus. Since you're already at your destination, like what are they gonna do? Satoshi-kun smiled as patronizing me. I couldn't believe it. He was definitely the type who made everyone want to protect him. Sure, he was fine, as he was when he had a busy party like me around, but I couldn't stop worrying whether he was able to function in society without someone like that nearby. We got plastic bags and stored without what we brought. Satoshi-kun put a pack of tofu at the bottom of the bag. I slapped his hand and put in a milk carton instead. Okay, there we go. Now, y'all won't freak out when she opens this shopping bag in the kitchen. Thanks. You helped me a lot. I don't think I'm really very good at shopping. Just shopping? That's definitely not the only thing. Just kidding. I had realized a few things while I was spending time with him today. He's not just bad at shopping, he's also, chronically clumsy. In general, you can call him a slow thinker. That meant when he stepped into the, quarrel with the punks, he must have needed a lot of courage. Might be a simple term, but he's not stupid. He's aware of his weakness, so he must have been aware of the danger in that situation. He could have chosen to walk away even though I was in trouble, but he chose to be a man and stepped in. That was really, admirable of him. Good boy. You did a great job. There. What is it? Don't stroke my head. I'm rewarding you for shopping successfully today. There. You're making fun of me, aren't you, Mion? No, I'm not. Can you go home by yourself? Do you know how to get there? You are making fun of me. Satoshi-kun sulk and face flushed red. He's just too cute. At that point, I caught a glimpse of the billboard from the corner of my eye. Piano lessons, cool XX. Abacus class, junior baseball team, members wanted. It was a posting for the same team Satoshi belonged to. It showed date, time, and place of the next practice, but then I just knew how flaky he was. I figured he might be the same when playing baseball. Satoshi-kun realized I was reading the poster. He looked comfortable and walked away. I know what you're thinking. I hope you won't come to see me play baseball, Mion. Am I right? What does that mumbling mean? I know I'm right. Satoshi-kun became quiet after mumbling something. It seemed like he couldn't say anything back since it had been right on the money. So it's gonna be like after Satoshi-kun disappears with a curse, like I'm gonna become really paranoid or something, like Kichu was in chapter 1. Satoshi-kun, you're just too cute. I don't think going silent is a good way to dodge the issue, but that might have just been the way innocent people like him would react in a situation like that. Maybe. See you, Satoshi-kun, that also would explain the whole entire notebook thingy. Maybe it's like a diary, but then it turns into an investigation kind of journal. It's getting dark, so be careful on your way back. Aren't you going home to Mion, to Himizawa? I have to make a stop somewhere first. Don't worry about me. I'll help you this time in return. I'm okay. What are you gonna help me with anyway? You should learn to support yourself before you try to help me. You're really mean today. You seem to have some pride, at least. He looked a bit upset because he was being teased by a girl, but in contrast I felt very satisfied. As a result, I forgot to keep my guard up. Thanks for the help. That was sweet of you. Whoa. While wearing a bright smile, Satoshi-kun suddenly stroked my head again. I know he's teasing me, but I can't reject him. He keeps doing this because he's realized I won't resist. Oh. See you, Mion. You should go home before it gets dark. See you in school tomorrow. I wonder if I can declare as the other characters in the later chapters. Yeah, I see you in school tomorrow too. In fact, I wouldn't see him tomorrow at all. I wonder what Rika-chan's thinking. In fact, it felt awkward, but I had to settle for that. It would be nice if I could play as them. I do thank Sis for letting me use her name. After I separated from him, I found myself giddy and wishing to see him again as soon as possible. I wanted to know more about him. I can't wait for my next chance to meet him. Actually, maybe there was something I could do. It's like when I obtained my freedom from Saint Lucia, I could choose how to live my life. Whatever, it wasn't that complicated. I just wanted to tease him more. I wanted him to stroke my head more. And whatever. I already knew the schedule for his baseball team. Guess I'm going there next. Higurashi, When They Cry. Is it gonna be another notebook and maybe another Satoshi extra tip? Let's see. Just a humble diary, okay. Hopeless pair. My aunt finally stopped her hysteric screaming. Today was just like any other day. I can't remember what set her off. Whatever it was, she changed subjects constantly. Anyway, it didn't matter. She went out in the middle of the night again. The urge to sleep was pounding the back of my head. Once Otoko had been able to relax, she fell down on the spot and started sleeping, still clinging to my sleeve. I carried Otoko to the bedroom and laid out our futons. Here's Otoko. The futon is ready, so get in, okay? Otoko crawled in like a worm. She stopped moving once she was inside. I wish I could go to bed too, but I couldn't. My aunt asked me to do some chores. I had to get some toothpaste after school tomorrow. I had to write it down somewhere. I had to make rice for lunch tomorrow. I set the timer, right? I also had to repile the towels in the bathroom. That was the reason for today's scolding. Repile? My aunt will get mad if everything isn't done the way she wants. Oh, and there was something else. I was working at the grocery store the next day. They wanted me to bring an apron. Did we even have an apron in this house? I've never seen one. My aunt will be sleeping when I go to a school, so I won't have time to ask her. What should I do since Mion helped me get that job? I don't want to screw it up. In that case, why don't I ask Mion about it at school? She might lend me one. Was there anything else? I was envious of Satoko because she got to go to bed. It was pathetic that I felt that way. Is it? I don't know. I think being able to rest is pretty nice. That should be it for this time though, I guess. So bye bye. This is kinda short, only 30 minutes.